Hey guys, it's Coach Yana, and I am a children's confidence coach. Well, let's just get right into why you're here. I'm going to share with you 3 easy ways to help keep your child safe while they're on Roblox. All right? Because as scary as Roblox can be, it can also be such an amazing way to bond with your child and build such a healthy and dynamic relationship with them because you're entering in their world and getting on their level. And it really reveals a lot about their personalities, just gameplay in general, but especially Roblox because of the atmosphere that it is. So we want children to be able to experience that fun, but also as a children's confidence coach, my main priority is making sure that children are safe, especially when they're on the internet, so that they can make it to adulthood to become capable adults. You get my drift. And I don't take that lightly. So here are some ways, 3 simple ways that you can help keep your child safe on Roblox. The first thing is making sure that their age is set correctly. Now, to be honest, whether your child is over a certain age or not, I would recommend setting their age younger because then that, from my understanding, automatically disables the chat feature and the microphone feature. So make sure that those things are turned off. So you can now, if you set their age too young, they won't be able to play certain games either. So, just consider that. But in general, turn off the chat feature on Roblox. Turn off the microphone feature on Roblox. That is a very, very simple and easy way to help keep your children safe on Roblox. Now, there are no foolproof options, but if there is literally no way to communicate with anyone outside of just jumping around and moving, the chances of exchanging personal information significantly decreases because it's theoretically almost impossible if you can't talk or type to someone to get a message over if you're just jumping around. It's not impossible, but it significantly reduces the chance for some untoward nonsense to be going up on. You hear me? All right. The second thing that I would say that makes Roblox safer for children is you playing with them, okay? I know that that sounds like, oh, what? How will that help keep them safe? That will help you understand where they're lacking in safety in general. That will help you understand where their mind is in somewhat social settings because for children, Roblox is basically a social media platform. It's not a social media platform, but it's a way for them to stay connected and play with people. So if you're playing with them, you then earn the right, not saying you don't have the right in general as their parent or guardian, but in their mind, you earn the right to ask them more in depth questions. So as you're playing and you're actually having fun and getting into it, then you naturally can just ask, well, oh, look, your friend joined. Who is this person? Like not in an accusatory tone, because children pick up on tonage and children do not want to upset you. They do not want to get in trouble, especially depending on how them getting in trouble affected them. Like, depending on how severe your punishments are, they'll probably tell you less and less because they don't want to get in trouble. So you don't ask them things and you don't over discipline either, but that's a whole other conversation for another day. But you don't ask them things in an accusatory tone. You ask them like, oh, I see your friend just joined. How do you know this person? And then they'll tell you, oh, do I know them at school? Or, oh, do I know them here? Or do I know them there? Because the thing is, if you just do the age restriction thing and then after a while their age changes, their chat feature could just turn back on. So that person that they friended years ago, who they're thinking, oh, we've been cool this whole time, now suddenly has access to chat. And then if they start talking to them, they now have created, listen to this, because this is going to save children in the long run. If a predator befriended your child when they had an account that was age restricted, and so they did not have access to chat or to the voice feature, they might have befriended your child years ago. And so your child may have been playing with this person, never had any red flags because the chat feature was not enabled. And so after time, in children's minds especially, people online are their friends too. They're actual friends. I'm not saying that they're not their friends, but that's how children perceive things. So once the chat feature turns back on, I'm not sure if you can turn it off. I probably should have looked that up before I made this video, but this is stuff that I just have to say off my heart, and I can do that. I can do a follow-up video later, but this is important. So you really have to pay attention to this because what I'm saying is really important. So that particular person could have befriended your child years ago. And now when the chat feature comes back on, I'm sure there's a way you can turn it off, but just pay attention. They have built trust with your child. So now when that chat feature turns on, if you don't turn it back off, if it can be turned off, now they have built up years of being your child's friend. And now when they ask questions, that guard that your child may have initially had is gone. Because this person, I've known this person for years. Do you know how many people, grown adults, say, I know this person for years? I can't imagine they would do that. So imagine the innocence of a child thinking that somebody has been their friend this whole time, and now all of a sudden they can chat with them. So then they might start spilling things. So that's why it's important to play Roblox with your child. So that way you can be like, hey, who is your friend? Like, how do you know this person? And you can start to instill what's cool is safety is cool, which brings me to my third option, which is enrolling them in one of my Roblox gaming clubs. Now, I'm definitely not the only person out there who has virtual gaming clubs, but I'm the only me out there, and that's just what it is. And I am a children's confidence coach, and I have literally created an entire ecosystem to help keep children safe on the internet and just help them become the best versions of themselves long term. And part of becoming that is making it to adulthood. And so what I'm saying here is very, very, very serious. So one of the ways that I do that is through weekly gaming clubs, and the children love to play Roblox. And I love to play Roblox because it's a great way to bond with children and get into the nuances of what's going on. Now, I say that and I bring it up because the cool thing now in my clubs, because of the environment that myself and my students have created, is that it's cool to be safe online. It's cool to not share your personal information. It's cool, to not friend people, because there are times where we have to play in a public server, and that means that we're playing with other people. Usually we play in my private server, but there are some game modes where we have to play in the public server, so we're accessing other people that are not just students. And so sometimes they'll get friend requests. And so they'll ask, the younger ones, the newer ones will ask, oh, someone sent me a friend request. What should I do, guys? What should I do? And my students that have been with me for a minute, I used to have to jump in. They'd be like, oh, no, do not. Some of them, they'd be talking like me, too. They'd be like, oh, no, don't friend them, honey. Oh, no, I only friend people I know. I only friend people from my school. Is that even a question? And so that is how I use peer pressure, because the safe thing is the cool thing to do. And so then the younger kids fall in line naturally, because the older kids are telling them, oh, I can't even believe why you would even ask, should you friend a stranger? Like, what? What are we doing? And then that organically creates an environment where the younger children just feel like they need to follow suit. Oh, I want to be cool like them, so I'm going to not friend strangers. And then it trickles down from there. And so that is why it's important that we have these clubs. And so I'm saying this to say, you don't have to keep your child 100% off of Roblox. You can still allow them to have fun. You can still allow them that experience, but in a curated way that keeps them as safe as possible. There are no 100% foolproof things, just because life happens and sometimes life throws curveballs, but we can do whatever, as much as possible, that we can to help protect children. And that is what I have dedicated my life to, is helping protect children so that they can grow, and then also establishing confidence, because confident children become capable adults, and they have to get to adulthood to be able to do that. So, this has been Coach Yana. I am a children's confidence coach. And once again, I literally created an entire ecosystem to help children become confident so that they can become capable adults. That includes workbooks, activity books, an animated series, weekly clubs, one-on-one coaching courses, literally a membership with meditations and reading activities and mini courses there too. Like literally, I've created an entire ecosystem. Because one thing about it, and two things for sure, anything that you despise, you were sent here to help fix. And I despise the war on childhood innocence, so I'm right here on the front lines protecting and serving your families and your children. Without further ado, that's all I have to say, and stay tuned for a quick word.
But a moment from our sponsors before we continue.
Well, thank you, Cup, and viewers at home. Thank you for your likes, thank you for subscribing, and thank you for watching. And if you want to take Imagination Land to the next level in your world and be a part of the story, you actually can create and write your own story with our book, the Book of Unfinished Stories. It's like a Mad Lib coloring book where you get to be the author and the illustrator. Remember, it's your story, so write it your way.